But what you're talking about today is something that's extremely relevant. And anyone who's been keeping an eye in the papers, or indeed runs a business, who employs over 250 people, will know that there's a deadline in place for tomorrow evening. And your programme's going to be coming out called Why Do Men Earn More Than Women?
Yes.
On Wednesday at Channel 5
yes.
at 10 o'clock.
This is a cause I feel passionately
Me too.
about. I feel so strongly about it. Years ago, when I started work at the BBC, they asked me to sit on the Equality Committee that was dedicated to getting equal representation and equal pay. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that because I think women are worth more than men, and that equality would be a backward step, because I think that I can't understand why women don't just earn the same, but in most instances should be earning way more because of their dedication to the job.
Well, it's true that there is a report that says companies that have 15% of their senior management as women are 50% more profitable. So there is real evidence that women, really add value to businesses, but unfortunately, 41% of the UK companies have no senior women at all. So we have a huge gap. There's two things this programme explores, actually. One is the gender pay gap, which is all the men in one company versus all the women, and what the difference is. And then there's equal pay, where women are paid less for a job of equal value to men. And as you saw there, the supermarket ladies.
Oh, that is
in most of the
incredible
supermarkets, isn't it?
It is.
Why will it take 100 years for that gap to close? I mean, is it not as simple as just saying, yes, we realise we are paying women far less than what we should be and they should be equally matched, we're going to change it? Why is it such a huge palaver that they bring the wages up and make them equal?
Just stick together and say, we want the same as the men.
But do women know, Karren? I mean, do women... I wouldn't know necessarily. Janet says, we've spoke about this a lot, I probably wouldn't go into a job interview and say, what is the same person who's a man, who's doing the same job as me, earning? I would just take the job and accept that that was my wage.
Well, you are very similar to lots of other women. 7% of women negotiate a pay rise compared to 57% of men. So one part of it is women not demanding what they're worth and not going in and asking for the pay rise that they think they want. And I was speaking to someone who runs a HR company, and she was saying that the majority of women accept the job, then ask what it pays. Majority of men ask what it pays and then accept the job. So there's something to do with attitudes of women.
Self-esteem as well.
About confidence, about demanding what you're worth, about sticking up for what you think.
Confidence, Karren? Because I would find it very difficult, even now, to walk into, the person who employs me and say, I demand a pay rise.
I think it's because women, most of the time, who are earning the lesser amount of pay, you're talking about shop workers and what have you, they are trying to juggle family life, finding a job that suits their needs, and they're too frightened to ask for more money in case they lose their job. And we all know what it feels like to be told, well, if you don't do it, somebody else will.
Yes, and I think there is an issue, sorry to interrupt, I think there is an issue that women have this fear factor where they don't have the confidence to ask, and they are sort of grateful for the job that they have and don't want to rock the boat. So we have to get more women rocking that boat. But actually, one of the things I found in this documentary, that the biggest barrier to women earning as much as men is motherhood. When you have a child, you have to come out of the workplaces. I mean, there's, in finance, 40%, women are paid 40% less than men because of these career gaps they have to take. And the biggest barrier to women who have children and want a career is high-quality, affordable childcare. And that is a real problem that we have to solve in this country so women can get back into the careers that they want. I did, yes.
So how long did you take off for maternity leave?
Not enough. And actually, I will say that I wish someone had said to me 22 years ago when I was having my daughter that a career lasts a lifetime, and actually having that time off and working for a boss who appreciates that you need to have the time off and that family is everything is really important. I mean, I'm pleased to say at West Ham, we have to take the footballers out, but women earn 10% more than men. And I think that's because, as a woman who's in charge, I recognise the value of women. 41% of UK companies think working mothers are a burden to their team. And that shows you all the mentality that you need to know about why women are not earning as much as men.
Well, without those mothers, you wouldn't have the men of tomorrow, would you?
Yes.
Yeah, that way.